The Wildcat's in the paint shop, and I'm excited. Now follow along while we get the interior squared away. I'm gonna start by getting the seats taken care of.
SMS.
I'd like to go ahead and order and get put on the wait list for some custom-made seat covers.
Covers are running about 6 months.
Okay. And that is a good expectation, and that is not a problem.
Nick, what is it that the folks at home are watching right now?
So what you're looking at is what we call laser ablation cleaning. What that basically is that we are vaporizing anything on top of a metal substrate that isn't the metal itself.
We're doing this in a driveway. Do I need to take this stuff somewhere?
Not at all. At Huntsville Rust Removal, both myself and Rob can actually either come to you, or you can send us your parts or your vehicle, and we can work on it in almost every single type of environment.
Now, what are we standing in front of right here?
So this is my love and joy. This is what I call Sherry. This is a 1958 Cadillac Fleetwood 60 Special 4-door sedan.
Wow, this is nice. This laser rust removal is great stuff to watch. Should we let the people at home watch some more?
Absolutely, go right ahead.
So right after I got the laser rust removal done, brought everything home, put a quick coat of primer on it so I didn't have flash rust. On this particular part of the front seat, I had to take this apart from the back, clean up some spots that the laser rust removal couldn't get to because it was blocked. Now I'm going to hang this thing on the tree, which is my professional paint booth, and get it painted up with some Rust-Oleum Turbo Black paint. Sherman's original seat belts that came out of the junkyard, they just look miserable. I am sending them off to Sharon's Web in Texas to get them restored. They promise that the stitching will be correct, that the labels are going to come back, and that the buckles will be re-chromed. I only had 2 seat belts with the car originally. I'm going to send them 4 though, to have some for the back seat if I want. Now that the big stuff is done, it's time to do the little stuff. So I have sanded, primed, and painted all the accessories for the seat. Now it's time to get the seat tracks back on it, get them connected up, get the springs installed so this thing can get off to the upholstery shop. I've got Sherman's seat and a parts car seat right in front of me to show you the reason I did this. If you look, Fisher Body left everything uncoated. The rails, the springs, the frame. I have coated everything, which means I shouldn't have to deal with this again. My kids shouldn't have to deal with this again. Let's get the back on. Let's get it down the road. We've got the trailer loaded up and we're on the way to get the seats done. Here it is, the seats are back, but they're 5 inches short on every single one of the seat covers.
So they're going to get that all figured out tomorrow and get them redone for you. Yeah, he's working on getting them fixed for you. It usually takes about 2 weeks.
Well, have a look at what showed up. Let's get these out to my workshop. Let's see if they fit. Good news, the seat covers fit. I stretched them over parts car seats to be sure. Great news, Sherman is home from the body shop. That means he can go to the upholstery shop and get the seats done and the headliner done at the same time. I'm going to get some Eastwood XMat down on the floor of the car for some heat resistance. I'm going to put Design Engineering Incorporated Boom Mat over that in order to make the carpet softer. I'm going to get the rug back in the car so we can get it to the upholstery shop. It's the next day and we are following Sherman to the upholstery shop, and I've got the parts car seats in the back. I've got all the accessories in the truck, and I am excited for how good this car is going to look. It is a beautiful day, but it is a little rainy. I am with Jeremy here at Beltline Motors, and you guys do more than just auto upholstery. Obviously, we're sitting beside a race car here.
Upholstery is one of our main specialties, along with audio, lighting, any form of customization, we can take care of it in-house for you.
Well, I'm happy. Even though it was a rainy day, we got to bring Sherman out, and Sherman's actually been here and back home again. Let's talk about some of the stuff in this interior that you guys have done, and you've made it phenomenal. Do you want to start with the headliner?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a product that I did get from SMS, but it comes in a box, and this is a bow style headliner. Was this an easy thing to get in, or did it take a little bit of time to make it look as perfect as it is?
It takes time. So it's not your traditional just glue up there and stick it. We actually have to measure out the bows to make sure each one is in their right proper place, because if you notice, each bow is a different bend and a different length. So it's got to be right the first time.
This is definitely right the first time. And not only did you guys do the headliner, get the hooks in, you guys also did the sun visors, and those look great.
We also did these rear panels right here to make it all back factory pristine the way she was in the 60s.
Those rear panels looked terrible. Your guy that you have, he took something that looked like a piece of trash and made it look wonderful.
Thank you. Snowman is a talented upholsterer.
And Snowman does not do social media, so that's why we don't have video of him. Now, when I brought you the seats, they were nothing. I just brought them to you with the frames. What was the procedure to get these from the bare frame to where they look good and set good?
It was start from the bottom, work your way up. Started with a blank canvas and built it up from there with the foam, the cotton, fixing the springs, making sure everything goes the way it needs to go as far as laying out, because you have those lines and those pulls in the seat. If they're not in their proper place, it's never going to look right.
Let me tell you about the springs. So there was a spring that stuck out of the back of this seat from when I was little. I played with it growing up. It was always in my field of view. And you guys had spring material, and you were able to fix it right here without me having to send it off anywhere.
Joe, I noticed you have the rear package tray in here now.
That package tray came from a place called REM Automotive. It is a long lead time, but it's worth the wait. I went and I glued on the original factory clips for it. It slides in there, and then on each side of that front piece of vinyl, I glued it in with contact cement. You've got to let that stuff dry, get it stretched down, and then hold it in place until it dries.
When this car was here, we didn't have seatbelts before. Those look amazing. What did you do with those seatbelts?
I sent them off to a company in Texas. They re-chromed everything, and they absolutely look great. They look as good as I remember growing up. They've got the original labels back on them. But I will tell you, those things where the seat belts go through the seats, those are made of unobtainium. I had to buy some of those off of eBay. I had to paint them up. And even though it's a different color than the seat, that is a perfect match of the ones that came out. So it took some time, but they do look great.
It looks phenomenal.
Did you see the armrest that you guys recovered?
Oh yeah.
Every one of these had a big rip on it, and it looked miserable. And then what you guys made it look like is nothing short of phenomenal.
Another thing I noticed about this car when you came in today, those door panels wasn't in there before. They look amazing. Can you tell me more about them?
In any restoration, and this one in particular, I've had to balance how much gets replaced and how much is new. These door panels are all ones that I had. There's a 2-year wait if I wanted those new, so they are great and serviceable. To put the door panel on, I put the plastic behind it with some strip caulk, got the panel on itself, got all the springs that go behind it, got it on there. Had to drill a few holes in some places where things didn't quite line up because it's an original door and a different door panel. The one for the driver's side is original, so that's the same one that my parents hung their arms out of. I really like to put stuff in this car that gives me that connection.
That's what I love about this, is you can feel the emotion. I get goosebumps literally thinking about the whole situation of this car with you.
That's something that hopefully in the next video, I'm telling the story of how I pulled this thing out of the junkyard, rescued it from death, and brought it to right here. That's why I'm not showing most of the car right now.
Tell me a little bit about the dash here.
The metal dash itself was just number 7 rubbing compound and elbow grease. The dash pad, that's a spare one that I had at home. The color I painted it was Cordovan brown. Getting the old dash pad out was a chore. The whole dash had to be taken apart to get the fasteners behind it, and then getting it back in. That took multiple days, but I think it was worth it not to have a dash pad with cracks in it.
Man, the color looks amazing though. Great job on that one for sure.
Now, the interior trim, I had painted the body shop, and I got that in. And you talk about stressful, putting that in to have to take a scratch awl to poke a little hole in a brand new headliner. That was stressful.
Every bit of that just looks amazing. I noticed the carpet now. How did you get that carpet laid out and it look so good?
That is carpet that I've had for about 10 years.
Wow.
At some point I had to start watching my money, and so it's not the original carpet. I took it out, I gave it a good bath out with the hose, got it back in, and that is an auto custom carpet out of Anniston, Alabama.
Nice. It looks amazing. You couldn't pay me to believe it was over 10 years old. So I noticed your door lock knobs here.
So I grew up with those. They're not factory of the car, and in fact, I had replaced them at one time with some that didn't match, but I've got old pictures of me in the back of this car, and that's what you see. These were sold so that nobody could get something in there and pull the door up and steal it, but man, a car from the 60s, they are notoriously easy to steal. Well, Jeremy, I thank you guys for helping me on this journey.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
And that is it for the Wildcat in this video. Please tune in next time.